Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a long break, but now I'll be continuing to create the content on Microsoft Power Platform and all its related new functionality which is going on. So today in this video, we are going to talk about a common Canvas app requirement which is related to grouping and the nested gallery. So currently you can see I have already opened application which is showing a list of records which is under each groups. So this is a Canvas app where I have used the gallery control to show the records under each grouping. We have the field called department. So what are the records belongs to this department will be shown under this grouping along with how many record count is there. And okay, before telling you more about this application, let me show you a diagram which is created by ChatGPT just to give you a walkthrough of it. Where is that? Okay, so here you can see mainly we have some other functionalities also like search, expand, collapse, multi-select, bulk accents and all. So here in this application, let's say firstly we are using the nested gallery, and then in case if you want to see to which user this record has been assigned to, let's say if I just select the name Avi, the record will be filtered, and from each groups whatever record is assigned to that user you can see it. So this is not a part of our implementation. Mainly we are going to see the nested gallery, but still this is good for user experience. So I kept this search bar here, and we have this refresh icon also. So in the Canvas application there may be some user who is already updating the records and all in the backend. So you can just click on this refresh icon and the record will be updated. Coming back to this one, we have the functionality like multi-select, bulk accents, and we are showing the username here as well. Whoever is logged in, that user will be shown. And whenever you select a record, you can take the action just to update the record in the Dataverse itself, or if you want to trigger a Power Automate on a click of this button, you can create that as well and update the records or do some automation. And that is a future plan. Right now mainly we'll focus on the nested gallery. So the main thing about this application is we are connected with the Dataverse for the database. Okay, if you want you can also go with the SQL, Azure SQL database or SharePoint like that, but in our application we are using the Dataverse. So in this video I'm going to show you from the scratch on how to create the Canvas app, where we need to put what kind of container, what properties needs to be modified, all the components that needs to be added in the Canvas app. Okay, so let me just okay, before creating the application I'll show you. Here I have already created the same application using the table control. So this is the earlier application, and I have converted this table control to the gallery control here. Okay, so if you see, everything is working fine here in the table control as well. I can select the record, I can mark in progress, these buttons are visible, the search records, functional, everything is working fine. But the main thing comes when let's say when you have a lot of records. Let's say you have 4,000 or 5,000 of records existing in your application, then it's very difficult to put it like a group or filter or like expand it. So actually I want to have all the records grouped by the department name. So if there are 100 of records which belongs to the IT, we can show it under the IT grouping, and then he can take the action. So we have multiple departments and thousands of records, and also for that purpose our scenario is that each group can be expanded and collapsed like this, and we can group them by the department and allow the users to expand and collapse to see the records. Now you may ask, why not table only? Why we cannot do with the table itself, which is already built? So the reason is the table actually will show you the flat list of records. It doesn't give you that control to show the records by grouping here. That's why the gallery control become useful here. With a gallery, you can create a gallery for the groups, and then you can create another gallery inside it for other records and all. So in our case, we are not just changing the control for the look wise, it's also about the functionality on how you want to take the action, how you want to show the records and all like that. So now instead of explaining much about this application, let's just start with the building the application. So I'm going to start creating the first app. Let's call it as a demo app. And in my solution, I have already created the tables for this application. This is just for demo purpose, no need to think much on that. We have three tables called department, request, and request type. So department will contain the data like what is the department name, which we have here. Let's say facilities, we have this IT and all, right? Then we have the request type here. So here if you see the request type, VPN request, software, laptop and all, that is that information is stored in request type. Now the main table is the request. So request is the main table which we will be using in our Canvas app as well to show all the records, which is like request, request type, department, priority, status, due date, assigned to owner, and lot of other records also. So if I just have to show you, okay, you can already see all the columns which is created here. So these tables are already created. I'm not going to build the data model from the scratch. This will save our time, but for your information, I have just showed you these are the tables. Now in the first thing we need to do is here let's add the data source. Okay, now our data source table name is request. Okay, request, and then we have request types. Then departments, and here we are also showing the username, whoever is logged in, that person name and the image icon will be shown. So for that we also need the users table, and in case if you want to show the team's name, you can try to add that as well. Okay, now we have connected all the data sources to our application. First thing is, now this is a first screen. I'm going to change the screen name to request screen. Request screen. Okay, and inside this screen let's add another container. Vertical container, and name it as something screen container. So I just do not want to randomly give the name and all. We'll follow the best practice. We'll try to follow the best practices. And in this screen container, see, we have multiple things here. On the top we have this header container, then we have the main container gallery where we are showing all the data, and then we have the footer container where we have some buttons. So for our video, I'm just going to copy this header container and the footer container from other application so that we can only focus on our main point, that is about the nested gallery. So before building the gallery here, I'll bring the application header from this application which I have already built. So rather than wasting the time in creating each labels from scratch, I'm just going to paste it here, because those controls aren't a part of our learning, but it's a good for user experience to have this kind of information in the application. So first let me expand this one. Okay, and copy. Okay, inside this one I'm just gonna paste it now. So this will be the header container. Okay, this is fine. Now inside this I want to create another container for which will show the data. So I'll just come back here, insert another container. Let's take it as horizontal container and we'll rename it to main container. Okay. Now inside this container we'll insert that gallery. Before that let's just see whatever is inside this header container. The main thing is we have the refresh icon which will clicking on it will pull the data from the dataverse, so the screen will never show the only the older records. If I click this one, okay, this is that icon. Then we have this iPad app title, that's just the branding and the app label, and we have this profile section which is to show the current user's name and the photo. That's all. Now in the main container let me just add one more container called the data container. Okay. Sorry, not this one. We need another container. Vertical container, and let's give it a name as something like data container. Now this is the main container which will contain our group gallery and the nested gallery. So first thing, let me just add the group here, the gallery. Here we don't need horizontal or vertical gallery and all. I'm going to just insert a blank flexible height gallery, this one. This is important because the height of each group will change when we expand or collapse the records, right? Let's say here you can see every group is expanding and collapsing on its own. So flexible height gallery, that will automatically adjust its height based on the content of previous groups and all. If you have, let's say, 100 records in this department, the other group name and all will just automatically move down, and we'll see exactly how it matters and all when I'm creating this whole container logic and all. So let's select the data table and I'll just rename this to the groups gallery. Groups gallery. Okay. And now here in the groups gallery we need to show the record in a proper format. Let's say we have this Chevron and we have this grouping name and then we have this header and all. So this header, I think we don't have to create it from the scratch. I'll just copy and paste it. This is just a static, giving the header name and keeping it inside this data container. So whenever we are showing the data, like these data gallery, it will show exactly, it will be about that data and it show what columns it's representing to. So this is just going to be a static row list of columns. You can see this one. Okay, again, I'm not going to build everything from scratch. I'll just copy it and paste it here. I'll explain some of the properties which may be important. Let me first copy and paste that header container. Copy. Okay, coming back here, paste. Okay, it should go on the top, so let's just reorder it, move on top. Okay, so if I open it, you can see this is all just the title, header and all, and the container is laid horizontally. This means that the header control are arranged from left to right, and it's using the flexible height like that. I don't want to manually position everything with the X or Y coordinates. It's just on its own, it's automatically fitting it. Each header also has some width property, like if we see here, like this is 11%. We have 10 records. Each of them I have given like 10, 10, 10%. You can assume like that. Now this is done, and before the header container, I think we have one more important feature, that is filtering. So here, if I want to filter the records which belongs to Avi, the records will get filtered, and so only the Avi record. So I think this one also I just copy and paste it here without wasting much time, so that the user will be able to search the request by different fields name, like request name or request number, like that. It's just a small piece of formula for the search box. Okay, the important thing is that the search box itself doesn't have any filtering, but it will capture whatever the users is typing there. So let me just copy this one and paste it here. Don't get confused that I'm copying and pasting. The main thing is about the gallery, which is the nested gallery. The other things like the header or this filter criteria and all is optional, but still I'm using it so that it will be better for the user experience. Now we are done with it. Let me just reorder it to the top. Not to the top. Okay, now it looks fine. Cool. Now let's focus on our main thing, that is the group gallery. This is our main gallery, and inside this group gallery we need another gallery. This will be our child gallery, which you can see here. When you look, this is the child gallery. So the parent gallery, this group gallery, will represent the groups, okay, and the child gallery will show all the requests inside each group. So I'm going to use the normal vertical gallery here for the child. I'm just going to select it, click on this, gallery. So it should be just blank vertical gallery. Okay, make sure that this gallery is inside the parent gallery. Okay, don't put it inside any other group container and all. Then it will create problems with the height changes, and it may not automatically recalculate its size like that. Okay, now let's connect this child gallery to the records from the parent gallery here. So let me just items. I think here items, we just need to change it to this item. This item dot group record. Okay, right now it's showing error. I'm just going to initialize some variable on the app screen and everywhere, so no need to worry on this error right now. Also, let's just change this name here. Instead of group gallery, we can change it as nested gallery or request gallery. Request gallery. Okay, also I think the template size matters here. Let's see the width should not be manual. Let's keep it as parent dot template width. Okay, and it should not be visible all the time. I think it should only be visible whenever there is a record associated with that group. So first we need to initialize all the variable on the app dot on start here. Okay, because we need to track on which groups the user is clicking and which one is open. So I'm just going to use a collection here to call the expanded group, and the collection will simply store the group key of every group that is currently expanded here, like this. And we need to initialize a collection with a temporary record so that we can clear it whenever a record is getting when a user taking any action and all like that. So basically this will help the Power Apps to understand the structure of the collection before we start using it. That's why we are getting the error here. So on this app on start, let me just copy the formula from my app and paste it here. Okay, so we are done with it. And now the request gallery, this nested gallery should be visible only when it's expanded. Until and unless the user has not clicked on that expand option, it should not be visible. So let me just click this one. Okay, right now we have not initialized many of the things, so it's showing error, but throughout this while I created it, everything will be clear. Now let me just see the template size of this gallery, because template size, okay, let me just this one, I'll keep it manual as 52, let's see. Okay, so before we calculate the total height of the gallery, we just need to fix this height, so that I'm setting this to 52 pixels right now. That will know that the row height and all. I'm just keeping it manual right now. And on this other properties, let's see, we have this height here. Okay, height should not be exactly this, so it will be visible whenever a user click on this, and this is the pixel which we have set right now. Okay, this is done. Let's see what is there. We have a chevron here and the group header. So first let's go to the group gallery. I'm just gonna add one icon here. Let me just icon. Okay, and another thing is, let's add another header label. Okay, these both are, you can see, one is chevron here and another one is header label that's we have added in the groups gallery. So I'll just change, no need to change this one, I'll just change to group header label. Okay, and this one let's change it to okay. This both are done. This one need to come first. Group chevron. Okay. Now the main thing is, whenever a user click on this chevron, right, this nested gallery needs to be opened and it should be show all the records. So first we need to have a formula for both of this fields first, and then we'll see we'll go to the request gallery. So first let's complete all the components from this main gallery, parent gallery. On the group chevron, first thing you need to check the icon formula here. This is okay, let me just change it. Okay, I'm just checking if the call expanded group to see whether the current group whatever we have selected is present or not. If it is there, we'll show the chevron down. On a click of this, it will go down, otherwise it will just be on the right side. Okay, this gives the user a better indication what is the state, whether it is opened or like collapsed or expanded, like that. Now similarly for this group header label also, let's see the on select properties. Okay, I'm just gonna change it. See, I cannot type all the formula one by one because it's gonna take a lot of time. So I'll just copy and paste it, but I'll tell you why I'm using it. So on the on select property, we are using this formula for both group name and the chevron. So whenever a user clicks on let's say either on this expand button or on this one, it's gonna expand the group. Okay, and if we click on this button, it's gonna just whatever the record is selected, it will be cleared like that. If you see it, it's getting cleared. So this collection, this is mainly used for the visibility of the nested gallery. Whenever user select on it, what records need to be shown, how it need to be shown, like that. And now we need to show the group header name, which is this IT, the department name and the count. So for that, let me just go to the text property. Okay, and instead of request dot name, okay, on this one, so the text, this one basically it comes from the this item dot group name. So each row, whatever is in the parent gallery now represents a group rather than the individual request, right? So I'm just using this count rows, this item dot group records, to show how many records belong to that group, to get the count of that records, and so that even when they filter and all, the names would be reflecting on each search results. Okay, we are done with the parent gallery. I'm just going to save it right now. And now one more thing which is pending. The primary thing is about the groups gallery, how we are going to group and sort it. That will come up later. First, let's work on the request gallery now. So in the request gallery, first thing which we need is the checkbox. Here, if you can see, so first we are going to insert a checkbox here. Insert checkbox. Okay, cool. Now the main thing is we need to add those fields which we told right here, these fields. So first, let's just insert a label, insert another label. So like this, see, this is just I'm not gonna add all the labels which we have here, 10 to 15 labels, but I'll just add 2 to 3 labels and show you what are the main things we need to configure, and then I'll just copy from my existing application. So first thing is, let's focus on the first field. Let me reorder it. Okay, on the checkbox, this checkbox will mainly allow the users to select individual records, either single records or multiple records. So for this, let's just rename it to something called select checkbox. And here we need to first focus on the default property, what happens by default. So go to the default property. Okay, and we have this. Let me just copy and paste it here. So this default property will check the call selected items and keep the checkbox synchronized with the records that is being selected by the users. Okay, and on the width, for each of the fields which we add here, we'll have the width that will be related to the container here. Let's say if we are adding a checkbox, here we have the checkbox, it will be aligned to that field. Here, if we are adding any field called department, we will associate it with the this department header, so that all the data which is showing in the gallery should align with the header container. So let's go to the width here, and what is the name here? First we have this gallery container, header container dot x plus that checkbox header dot x. Okay, this is done. And what happens when the user clicks on this check button, right? We have two functions, when a user selected and unselected means. Okay, so we have to check both the properties here on check. So let's say when a checkbox is selected, okay, when a checkbox is selected, I add that current records to that call selected items, and when it's unchecked, then we need to remove that record from the collection. So basically the collection becomes our central list, which will show the selected records and when the user wants to take a bulk action like that. So let's go to uncheck now. On uncheck action, okay, on the check I have pasted the wrong formula, I think. Okay, this is done. Let's save the record. And now coming back to this labels, I'll just try to do for the two labels. Let's say the first one is request. Okay, so let's first rename it something like request number label. Okay, and this field where we have the text, this item dot request, it's not coming, this item dot request, let's try to put it manually. Okay, it's hitting. And similarly for the width here and x, I think for the x again we can follow the similar approach here, that is request that gallery header container dot x plus request number header dot x. Okay, so you can see it's aligning exactly under that one. Okay, also we need to see the width of this. So this is request number header dot x, and similarly we have to check the width for this field also. Gallery, no, this is x, control x, checkbox header dot x, sorry, dot width, and on x field. Okay, this is not looking proper. Let me just see why this is not looking proper. We have this x here, it should come, we need to see the y 20. Let's check if these things, group galleries should be parent dot width. If you go to request, okay, this is not placed properly, that's the reason it's going this way. Okay, width, okay, x should be 0 instead of 80. Okay, now you can see it's aligning properly, the checkbox and the request number similarly. Okay, so this is how you are going to align all the labels according to their header container. So now instead of just doing it one by one for all, I'm just going to copy and paste the whole fields here, so it will be easy and it will save the time as well. Let me just select all the fields from my existing application and let me see if I can paste it here. Copy and just remove this, and inside this I'm just gonna paste it. Okay, Now we have this. I'll just reorder it. Everything is same, just the fields has been added here. Now if I open it, you can see we have this request number label, title label, request type label and all. Okay, this is done. And now just for the user to take the action, we have this fields called mark in progress and mark completed. So this container, I'm just going to copy it from again the button container, and I'll paste it here because we don't have time. The video is already getting longer. So gallery container, let's select the screen container and paste it. Okay, we have it. Now let's see. Okay, what is the issue now? Okay, the main thing is about the groups gallery. Actually we have not added the logic right now how the records needs to be shown here. If you're seeing whenever we are clicking on the filter button, okay, it's filtering the records, and we have another criteria which is showing the records which is based on the high priority. Okay, we have this high priority, we have the color coding and all. So what I'm going to do is let me just see the formula. I'll try to replicate the same here. I see the formula is very long, so instead of building the formula one by one, I'm just going to paste the complete formula here, but I'll just walk you through it. Just change it, paste it here. Don't worry if it looks a bit long and all. The formula is actually made up of several simple steps that is nested inside each other. If you can see here, I'm just going to walk you through each part right now so that you exactly understand what is happening here. The main thing you keep in mind is it's going in stages. First, we are searching the records. Okay, then we are sorting the records. Okay, then we are creating a group key here. Okay, group key, then we are grouping the records, then creating a sort rank here. Okay, and then sorting the groups. So let's start this one by one. Here if we see the filter this record, the first thing we are doing is we are filtering the request table. Okay, so this is where our search box comes into the play. If the search box is empty, we return all the records of that table. In case if the user is searching putting any value there in the search box, the request name, number or anything, only the matching records will be shown on the screen. So this is the important point here. We just filter the records here. Okay, now here if we see the sort option is there, right? Sort. Okay, so here let's say once we have filtered the records, the next step is to sort them. So here I am sorting the request by the due date in ascending order. So whatever the records which is having the latest due date, that should be given the more priority, and so on the top. So I'm doing this before the grouping takes place, so the records in each group will follow proper order. Okay, later on we'll do another sort also, but that's the second part. Right now we are just sorting on the base of that due date. Here you can see, and here also you can see here the red color is shown on the top, always for each records. Okay, now we have this group key. Okay, department, this one, group key. Okay, so here this new group key has been added. This isn't any column in the data bus which we have created. We are creating it dynamically here, so that we just need a simple value that will tell the canvas app that which group each record belongs to. Okay, which each request table belongs to. So in this application, you have seen in the app start formula also, I'm using the department name as the group key, and the department field is a lookup field to the department table. So I'm just reading the department name throughout the lookup. The reason we are calling this group key instead of simply using the department, here this makes more reusable pattern. Okay, so in another application, the group key let's say can be based on the country or the customer or the project manager, something like that. Here we are just using it for the department. Now here we have the group records. Okay, so when this is the main part of the solution. Up to this point we are still working on the individual request records, right? Now group by changes the shape of the data. Instead of returning one row for every result, it returns one row for every single or every unique group key. So let's say if we have the department called IT, or here we have IT, facilities, HR, finance and all, right? So we'll now have one row for each group, and that's what happening here. This group record is a new here group records. Okay, this group records is a new nested table that will contain all the original records which will belong to that particular group here. I think, yeah, that's pretty much about this formula. One thing is I don't want that. Let me just see department's name, group key. So I do not want the department to appear in alphabetical order here, or whatever order it comes back. I just want the business to control the order. So I'm adding the sort rank here. Okay, and for each group I'm just trying to look up the matching department in the department table and retrieving its display order. So for example, IT could display, let's say, the order number 1, HR could display the order number 2, finance 3, like that, and so on. Okay, and finally we use this sort columns here. Okay, sort by columns here to sort the group by themselves. We are using it in the ascending order. So we have two different kind of sorting here. If you see here, firstly we are sorting based on the due date, and then we are sorting the group by the display order here. Okay, so this gives us the final structure which we need. Now we have the parent gallery has everything that we need. We have each items that represents a group, everything. Now let's just see if we have any error, or we can play the records now. Okay, now the main part. Okay, I think we need to work on this height and some other properties of the Chevron. Let me just check it. What's the issue? Go to group plus one, not yet. Main tab container. Group Chevron. Height is 64. It's let's make it as 20 and see. Okay, this is fine, but the layout of this again group label is not correct. Let me come here. Group Chevron 40. Let's make it something like 10. Okay. 8. Okay. Y as 0. Let's make it as 10. Okay, now it is a bit okay. If I click on this, okay, it's almost fine. I just have to see this one now. Let's try to change the X property from 40 to 50. Okay, I think this looks fine now. Okay, so I think we have achieved what we are working on right now. It may not look exactly like this current application, the color is not there, but still you get my point, right? If I select all these records, if right now let's say this both are in progress and open, I'll just mark it as complete. Okay, it's marked as closed, and here also I think it's marked as closed. Yeah, so I think we have completed the whole app building here. So let's just try to quickly recap what we have done. So we started with the Dataverse table here, and earlier I was using this table control which we converted into the gallery control, and then we try to filter the records using this group key and group by to create our groups here. We added this header container just for the better user-friendly experience, and this filter records which will filter based on the request name, request type assigned to. And Then we have this Chevron icon, this icon which is used to expand and collapse the record. And we used a nested gallery which is inside the main group gallery here. I'm just going to copy all the formulas and all on my blog also, so you can just refer it there if you need any thing to refer for the formula or the properties or how it is built. I'm just going to put everything on my blog. So the blog list, I think I need to check that. Let me just open my YouTube channel. I think we'll have some blog list there. Okay, we have it on the top here itself. So I'm gonna post all the details, step-by-step implementation. Like you can see, this is for another blog with all the snapshots with the steps and the formulas, so that if you want to refer, you can come to this blog, powerdynamicsblogspot.com, and you can explore. If there is any other blogs you like, you can refer that as well. In case if you have any doubts, feel free to comment it. I know it's been it's a bit long video, but after a long time I tried to create the video, so I took a bit time. Thank you for your support and all. If you want me to create a video on any new topics and all, do let me know. And I know there was some time taken into the debugging, because this is what happens when you work as a developer. Implementing is not the bigger task. The bigger task is how you debug and create all the components in a proper way and functional way, so that it's good for the user who interact or take action on it. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.